Hi, I'm Gazza. In this episode of Home Robotics, I'm going to introduce you to my home robot version 1. So the robot is controlled by an Arduino and also integrates with a mobile phone via the Arduino One Shield. It acts as a Sentry robot, so it has motion sensors all around. It's also got some status indicator lights, CO2 sensor, light sensor, hearing sensors, and it has a night vision camera so I can inspect objects remotely. The navigation technique it uses is simply to smooth and avoid with 3 proximity sensors. At this stage there is no cliff sensor. There are 2 high torque motors which are driving 2 main wheels and a cast wheel down the back. The power supply for the microcontroller and Arduino One Shield are via battery bank, and the phone just has its own independent power supply. The advantage of this is using the Arduino One Shield, I can control this robot remotely from anywhere outside of the house. The Arduino One Shield uses the SIM card of the phone to take pictures and transmit them to any other terminal. It's actually tethered to the phone by Bluetooth. And using the One Shield app, you can use almost every functionality this phone has, which means in Sentry mode, if it detects any motion in any one of these sensors there, it'll turn around, it'll take a picture using the camera phone, it'll then send me a copy of that picture via email to my own personal email, and that is all configurable. At the same time, I've also activated the voice command sensor, so I can give it voice commands, or if I want to, I can just control it. The drives themselves are driven by a 1 amp hour 12 volt lead acid battery, and that sits inside. But like I mentioned, this thing can take a lot of weight. Also in voice recognition mode, this will turn on green when it's ready to receive the command. The lights at the top are purely for cosmetic purposes. The night vision camera up the top points upwards so you can see any intruders. Also there's a relay inside, so I can actually transmit images to a separate camera receiver around the house. And the simplicity of using the One Shield app is that I can just select the applications I want it to run. So in this case I want to use the camera application, the email application, the gamepad and the internet application. And then when I set it to Sentry mode, it'll detect motion. In this case me, it will start taking pictures and then email it to my personal email. So I hopefully get a good demonstration of how that works. So now it's detected motion, it'll take a picture and it'll start rotating 90 degrees, take pictures of everything that's happening around it, swiftly send those emails to me, until it's complete. This is just an example of how I used this in the past. Some disadvantages obviously is by connecting the phone to the Arduino board by Bluetooth. It actually takes up a lot of power on both the microcontroller and the phone. So in its current configuration it won't last more than about 4 hours. Of course I can extend this by adding a battery bank to this phone here and give it an additional 2 or 3 hours. There's also the inherent risk of the connection being disrupted between the phone and the Arduino One Shield. I haven't had that happen to me yet. So here's a bit of a close-up. Here's your sensors: gas sensor, light sensor, infrared sensor for detecting flames, and like I mentioned before, these are status lights and mood light, and motion detector sensors. I'll just turn that around. Here you'll see the port for the microphone, and there's a speaker inside. And at the rear is where the actual battery's held that actually powers the Arduino. To increase actual mass payload, so I can put bigger batteries. Also some cliff sensors there to stop it from going over an edge, in addition to some sort of recharge capability. Just some obvious things I've noted once I had little kids is they start picking at anything that sticks out, so I'm going to try for the next version to make everything as flush as possible so my kids don't start picking it out. Yeah, this is an example of the move and avoid subroutine. I'd also like to incorporate some sort of navigation capability whereby it can find its way around the house, and I might do that using a Piximon sensor which can pick out different objects or unique objects of different rooms, so it knows where it is. That way if he wants to go to my room or the kids' bedroom, it'll be able to do so successfully, in addition to adding some sort of encoder mechanism on both main drives. These main drives are the standard DC drives, DC motors. There's no encoders on them. You can still do some basic navigation using just the timing of the motors. Also, I might consider using a different type of camera system, maybe like a Swan or another camera which can capture and send information or over the internet, thereby not putting too much reliance on the Bluetooth connectivity. Having said that, I can use the accelerometers on this phone here to deduce some basic navigation. Hi. So in this mode, it'll actually react to any sounds around it and try and turn towards any sharp voices. Doesn't always work because the Arduino can't process the microphones at the same time. You can see it does react to some loud, sharp voices around it. However, it'll just keep swiveling and turning each position, so it can get annoying after some time. Left, back, so the voice recognition does work to an extent. However, if you're too far from it, it won't work too efficiently. I'll just keep doing that. In terms of the materials, MDF for the main base. Everything else here is built on PVC sheets to help reduce the weight. Having said that, it is a little bit flimsy. It hasn't been dropped or anything, but hasn't tipped over a couple of times. The next version will be made out of wood with a little bit of metallic support. Well, that was a quick intro into the home robot. This is version number 1. I'm working on a bigger one, more robust and hopefully more capable one with some smarter navigation. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching Home Robotics. And here are some other things I'm working on. Hope to see you soon.